The 10-minute talent rant is live. I'm James Hornick, joined by Jeff Smith. And as you can see, we are on the clock. The 10-minute talent rant is our ongoing series where we break down things that are broken in the talent acquisition and hiring space and maybe even pitch a solution or two. This week's topic: can LinkedIn stories make recruiting easier? So if you guys aren't familiar with LinkedIn Stories, the brand new feature, which I don't think it's in full distribution yet, but a lot of people are slowly getting it. It's kind of their ripoff of Instagram or Snapchat. To test this out, we actually did an experiment, and that's the first thing. So Jeff and a few other people internally decided to use this as a recruiting tool over the last week. We found out half the people we asked to try it out didn't actually have access to it yet. So Jeff, you're completely inept at social media. How was your experience so far?
Well, as a hater trademark, I pleasantly surprised, James. Per your instruction, threw out a couple of job stories and just kind of pitched a 15 to 20 second snippet. I mean, there was very minimal information. It was really just kind of the nuts and bolts. Here's our comp range. Here's the space. Here's, the type of company. And via just first connections, because that's all stories go out to, I had two individuals that I haven't spoken to in quite some time that both of us acknowledged that we hadn't, not remembered, but we just hadn't had a dialogue from a professional level in probably 4 to 5 years. That was their route into seeing some of my content again. And while both of those conversations weren't exact fits for what I was looking for, I now have two advocates out on the market kind of socializing these opportunities and hopefully building a new pipeline.
Yeah, so that's great. I'm glad it worked, because that was kind of my take, is that it would. I didn't know it was going to work that quickly, but so I'm glad that it did. I'll take a step back. I talked about this a little bit this morning on LinkedIn on a post I made. I think that people are a little bit off the mark in what they're using it for, which is fine. People are figuring out, and there's so many people who would hate it. Right? There's like this visceral reaction to, oh my God, they're putting Instagram on LinkedIn. You hate it. But if you break it down, there's 3 things that are completely different about this than LinkedIn feed. So I want to go into that. Now, first and foremost, everyone complains about the algorithm. Like, everyone wishes it was like Twitter, where if you post something, people in your network are going to see it 100% of the time. It's going to show up. And LinkedIn doesn't work that way. LinkedIn works where maybe your connections see it, maybe they don't. Maybe they see it later in the day. There's no rhyme or reason for when things pop up. That's gone. There is no algo when it comes to this. You're not going to get your content buried. Your first connections and your followers will see it pop up on their phone. So like the biggest complaint that everyone has about why they don't like posting on LinkedIn or one of the things, like that's erased. So that's like a huge win. Secondly, this, as you kind of mentioned, this goes out to your connections and your followers only. It's a tight network this is going out to. This is not going out to all kinds of randos. You're not going to have people you don't know complaining about something you say. Really, I think kind of tying this back to recruiting, it's an opportunity for you to get extremely niche with who you're talking to. If you're someone who focuses in a very defined space, whether it's recruiting, whether it's some other area of business, you can talk to just those people and talk about jobs relevant to those people and continue kind of just like staying relevant in that space. And the kind of the third point, which kind of ties directly into that, this doesn't go to a comments section. Like, this goes to one-to-one interaction that goes to your direct messages. So if somebody wants to get back with you, they don't have to put themselves out there and post on the internet, because a lot of people don't like doing that. If they have something to say, they're interested, it goes right to your inbox. And I can say my experience from this is like the interaction is off the charts. Like, every single person I've messaged based upon something I saw that was interesting has responded 100% of the time, and vice versa. Every single person that's messaged me, like, this is the best engagement I've ever seen on any tool in social media, especially in a professional setting. So there was tremendous value here. And I think bringing it back to what ultimately this is a channel for, it's the concept of push versus pull. And you could call this a few different things. You could call this the difference between sales and marketing, the difference between outbound and inbound. But I think that recruiters are very used to push environments. They're taught to, back in the day, make cold calls, message people, make your list, try to find someone for positions and whatnot. But this is an opportunity for people to have more of a pull mindset, how to stay in front of people who might be interested in either what you have to say or the jobs you're posting. But they don't want to get an email every single time. They just get tired of that. Like, they might like you, but like, who needs to be messaged as often as normal people do it. it's an opportunity to kind of foster relationships. And as you said, this is a perfect example. Like the people who got back to you, people you haven't talked to in years. You know, there are absolutely people out there who'd be interested in a job you have posted. They don't like email, and it opens up a completely different avenue of a different person, a different persona out there who you can engage with on searches.
Yeah, when you talk about the pull aspect of it, it's both sides. Recruiters get so used to feeling like they have to sell into stuff, and boy, this was an easy way to just kind of throw a bit of a feeler out there and let somebody opt in themselves. I think another interesting thing, as somebody who, you know, I meander in and out of social media. I'm currently in a, you know, totally anti phase. Who knows what'll happen in the future. But I think maybe me and I don't know, I won't speak for you, but we forget that, like, while yes, like Snapchat and Instagram stories like seems like something that's commonplace for us, like maybe some of the business community isn't used to that. So you know, teaching people how to use it effectively, and as it relates specifically to what we're talking about, recruiting, you know, early returns are positive. I have nothing but good things to say so far.
All right. Looks like we kind of agree on this one. I wanted to kind of, I guess, talking about push versus pull, and I want to make sure I'm clear on this too. Like, I think as a recruiter, you have to do both. You have to have your job is to find people, whether it's for your company or if you're a third party recruiter for, you know, your client. Obviously, you have to have some sort of outbound system, but I think there's tremendous value in having kind of regular inbound. If you can build credibility, if you're a finance and accounting recruiter and you're talking to strictly accountants and people in that realm, and they're used to seeing you talk about jobs, like it will become habit for a lot of these people and they will listen to what you have to say. I think that it's a chance for you to stay in front of people in a very non-annoying way. Some people are going to be annoyed with stories, but guess what? That's not your market. Those aren't the people you have to be talking to. So, and on top of that, I mean, this is just one application for it. You know, this is one thing that we kind of tried out in the last week that worked. So I'll be interested to see kind of what other things, you know, are kind of relevant to this area in this market. So
exciting. We finally agree on something. As much as we love each other, I feel like it's based out of this like mutual adversarial relationship. So it pleases me to no end that you and I are aligned on this.
Well, looks like we're way under on this one and we were out of things to say, so we'll just wrap it up. So that's a wrap for this week. Thanks again for tuning in to the 10-minute talent rant, which will always be available for replay on the HireWell YouTube channel, as well as the Talent Insights podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, and recently added to Amazon. Jeff, anything else?
Listen, for anybody watching or that's going to watch, like, take a look at our stories. We're going to keep doing this. So obviously we're going to keep throwing, you know, new relevant jobs out there. So any of our first connections, you know, keep us in mind. We're going to be out there. Watch your stories, people.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later. And everyone else, we'll see you soon.
Bye.